I was asked to think through, after being involved in this thing since 2004, what lessons we have learned from it, knowing that this is by no means the end of the conversation. Shame on us if we walk away from this conversation now. And so while these are lessons learned, I would suggest and encourage folks who have experience today not to assume that the story is over. Because if you do that, I guarantee you, you are wrong. The story will continue, and we will reflect on this information as was always intended to make an impact. And so my first lesson that is reflected is this idea that money and technology are great, but people are better. And I think that that has been reflected in many of the ideas that have been shared today. However, I don't think it is something that most folks would expect someone whose check gets signed by a guy by the name of Bill Gates to say. And that's the case, and I can speak with certainty that that's what we as an organization fundamentally believe. And has this school gone through tremendous challenge in all of those areas? Money, technology, and people, is also the case. However, we need to think from a policy perspective to a greater extent on how we can influence, acquire, motivate, drive, support, identify people who are willing to do this work. People who are willing to immerse themselves, submerge themselves into the environments that our urban education kids are facing and understand the true reflection of that work. Look around this room, folks. This room doesn't even reflect the diversity of the population that we are trying to address. We should be ashamed of that. We should fundamentally be ashamed of that and question why that is the case. And so when we think about this idea of where can we do a better job, it is definitely a question we have learned of people first and money and technology later. Are money and technology important? Absolutely. Absolutely. But they do not in any way assure success.